Welcome and welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. To those that might be new, we are the Light Renegades. We are a collective of Pleiadian beings, bringing you information from the stratospheres that are ever expanding. We are disclosing cosmic secrets and giving forward information that will hopefully allow for you to step ever more in your sovereignty and in your power. That being said, this is a community space, so please feel free to leave comments and converse with those that are also commenting. It's really exciting for us to see this space really taking off with all of you coming together and seeding your light closer in spaces of acceptance. We really want this space to be a place where you feel safe, where you feel supported. And that being said, please do not hesitate to reach out. I was getting this strong message of saying, I do not bite, I promise. And if you want to ask me a question, I'm not going to ask you for money. So, I'm here to be conversing with anyone that wants to be stepping forward in these spaces, and I'm here to answer your questions. You don't have to have a video call with myself. I do have many that just receive information over email. So please note that is an option for you if you have been feeling the calling. But that being said, those that are in real time, please bear with me today because there is a lot of energy coursing through me. It is the new moon in Virgo as I am filming this, and I've been feeling this culmination of energy coming to this pressure cooker of expanse, and I've definitely been feeling it myself. I've been guided to be in a space of deep purging this week. I feel like this has been leading up to this precise moment, this precise moon specifically, and also the eclipse season that we are moving into. This is a time of great purge, but also a time to really turn within and really face those things that we've perhaps been putting off for many years. So I was grateful to receive this message from Crow yesterday. I keep wanting to say Alistair, and I'm going to share a little bit more about that at the end. And I want to say, please don't shoot the messenger for one, because I know that this is going to perhaps trigger so many to have, a moment of, I don't want to do this, but I promise you, if you take the time to really assess where you are right now in your understanding and really do the task at hand from today, you will be able to walk forward lighter afoot, and this is really going to help you in your expanse. And I think so many of us have been asking for this, but then we hit those walls of pain, we hit those walls of things that we find difficult and tricky to maneuver through. So please go easy with self, and please do take some time with this message. Although videos are coming out weekly, you do not have to be partaking in tests or homework on a weekly basis with Crow over here. It's about how you feel in the present given moment, and please do not shame self for needing to take a break and coming back to this when it feels aligned. We all have lives going on behind the scenes as well, so you have to really balance out what feels best for you and continue to coming back to self at any given moment, but just make sure that you're not pushing yourself to a point where nothing feels good. And I realized that I was learning this the very hard way on this journey, because I was just trying to do everything all at once, and sometimes you do have to focus on one aspect of life rather than the other, and you are being guided in the right way, so whatever feels best to you, trust in that notion as well. But it's quite a lengthy channeling. I'm already stumbling on words, so please bear with me today, everyone. There is just a lot of energy. But yesterday's channeling from Crow was titled Definition, and he started with, "Dear walkers of magic," which I thought was really beautiful. "Thank you for being with me today. I wish to draw attention to your emotions in the present given moment. So many of you have been feeling the resonance of the symbols you have chosen at a cellular level, and this is with purpose." And if you are here for the first time, I'm going to tag the first video that Crow was asking us to partake in tasks or homework behind the scenes to help us connect ever more into magic and alchemy. So you might want to pause here and watch that video first. I'm going to put it in the description. "You've been reaccessing your inherent soul's gifts, understanding the divine knowledge from which you have forgotten, locked out, cast aside by the constraints of this world and your microcosm." And even that first sentence really took me aback yesterday, and I realized that, I've always been a being that was connected to ether, connected to spirit. This has come from my ancestral lineage, and also all the lives that I've lived. I resonate as being a Pleiadian Starseed, so, there's a lot of lives that I've lived connected to magic and alchemy and understandings of that. And it was where we find ourselves in the world right now that really made me feel like I wasn't supposed to be connecting in with those energies. So I pushed all that aside, and I started to just become a sponge for the societal constraints. And, that only got me so far. And that very much took me to spaces that were incredibly damaging to self and, my physical being here as well. So allowing for yourself to connect ever more into your soul's inherent gifts is going to allow for you to feel more stable within yourself, and perhaps not be resonating with the outward world as much, but that's okay. We're coming into time where all of that is going to come into balance eventually, but this is about you becoming more stable in yourself and trusting yourself, and that you are divine magic at its whole entirety. And this is something that is becoming ever more increasingly apparent to me by the day, just how magical being here right now is as a soul, however you find yourself. But I'm going to continue. I'm grateful to be reawakening such notions within you all. The task this week is a big one, and one which you may want to run away from at this time. The task is to sit and feel it all. Release it all. So many of you have woundings from the past that creeps in that you dare not look at. You dare not accept in the here and now, as this means you must face it all. The only way to move forward is to truly look and accept the past. In universal understanding, past is present. So to deny the past is actually to deny yourself. And that hit me like an absolute lead balloon yesterday, is what I want to share. Do you see where therein lies the problem? So many of you get stuck on the path as the walk so far, and then you realize, ouch, this is where that thing really did hurt. But it gets swept away, pushed aside, and I see so many of you say, oh, but that's just the past. I need not look at it now. I myself fell into the dark time and time again, as I was not able to face the woundings of my past, especially that of my childhood. I wasn't able to look at myself in the eyes and say, that hurt. I pushed it down, and then it manifested into something quite putrid. I know I became a monster. I know that I was not faithful to myself, each turn self-sabotaging behavior over and over and over again. I say this to you all now so that you can take a step back and truly look at it all. I shall leave you with these questions. And it was interesting to me because I was seeing symbols in my mind's eye, so I'm going to attach these to each question. And first of all, I was seeing a triangle. And the question is, what really hurts right now? Yes, that exact thing that you thought of. What is it? Get a pen and paper and break it down. I'm going to say it again. Triangle. What hurts right now? Yes, that exact thing that you thought of. What is it? Please get a pen and paper and break it down. Square. How can I self-soothe the pain of the past and the present moment? How can I forgive anyone else and especially myself in connection to this pain? Square. How can I soothe my pains of the past and the present moment? How can I forgive anyone else and especially myself in connection to this pain? Circle. What can I do to release this pain once and for all? The best way will come to you. Maybe not right away, but be open. Be open for outside of the circle thinking here. And that made me laugh a lot. We are breaking down barriers of consciousness with this one, my dear magical seekers. So I'm going to say that again. Circle. What can I do to release the pain of the past once and for all? The best way will come to you. I promise in the end you will feel lighter for it. Maybe even thankful of yourself and find deeper love within self. I'm going to say that again. I promise in the end you will feel lighter for it, maybe even more thankful of yourself and love yourself deeper than you ever have before. This will be a 2-week task. Again, no time constraints on this from myself. But for those that it aligns, take your time. This will be my last message for a short while. All will be revealed. Please know, for those that have been seeking my guidance in your personal spaces, I see you. I have been sending signs to you. This is your confirmation. For those seeking my understanding for self-serving notions, I promise you, you cannot win. Whatever you once thought of me is now being taken away, stripped away by these dear souls here. I'm stepping into the light once and for all. My knowledge is great. My power within these realms even stronger. There must be a balance. Wherever you find yourself on your journey right now, there are no wrong paths. However, I will say, please look at your wounds. For they feed the poison that you drink, and quite often the same poison that we spit at others. I wanted to end on a lighter note. However, time's afoot. We need to be speaking the plain truth. No time to sugarcoat. Tough love may be the medicine for some right now. We cannot take on the wounds of others. It is up to each soul, each student of life to learn lessons for themselves. This is to my overgivers. I see you. I commend you for saying yes to you at this time. I shall be back with you very soon, my loves. And there was a lot of energy that was connecting to Crow's understanding of the past and me seeing it through the timelines of today and understanding that us, changing the frequency in these spaces is allowing for all the energy of the past to be filtered through the eyes of ever more stepping towards the light. So this is going to mean that Crow's understanding that has been coerced by those out there, the negative reptilian order, I want to say the Illuminati at this point, Freemasonry is connected into all of that somewhere as well. It seems like it's all just the same energy to me somewhere. And it's allowing for those that have been seeking, you know, Crow's expression, a deeper capacity of self-serving notions to be broken down wherever they find themselves in their journey. And there's going to be those that are going to be on life paths where they're connecting to darker essences so they can understand their soul's knowledge too in any given moment. So please, you know, take what resonates for self here, but understand that we are working through Crow's energy, Aleister Crowley's energy here, so that we can release everyone that is in the constraints of this societal understanding of what his energy was in that present given moment, and those that are still pushing that narrative of quite a dark agenda into all spaces. So I really started to see, you know, the work that we've been doing here. It's more of like a bird's eye view, and I thought, I see what we've been doing here, and this has been something that has been incredibly challenging for me to understand, because, you know, I very much feel like I've just been given information to bring forward, and I wasn't given the full reason and understanding behind it. I think it just wasn't time to see that notion in. So I've been very much working on, you know, just trusting in everything that's been brought to me, because it's been brought through in a very, you know, roundabout way, in such an incredible way that, you know, I couldn't have planned it myself. There was no way that I would have planned for me to be channeling Aleister Crowley at this time. You know, there's just been certain incidences in my life that's made me realize, oh, I was always connected to this energy, and I see a lot of my own energy within Aleister's understandings and, you know, some of the teachings that I've been reading behind the scenes. I thought this is exactly where I found myself time and time again, is just seeking, you know, the absolute truth of everything, and that's taken me to some real dark spaces. It's also, you know, taken me ever towards the light in this present given moment. So that's for those that it might align. You know, now's your time to remain in balance within self. And, you know, if you have been making mistakes of the past and doing things for self-serving notions, that's okay. You were there to learn those lessons, but do not shame self in thinking, you know, I want to put that down and I want to start living in a different way, because you're allowed to do that in any given moment on your journey. We have compassion here for all. We've brought through quite a lot of expressions that, you know, I think will rock the boat as time goes on within this understanding of the Light Renegades, but we decided to do that because we understand that there are souls that go through lessons for learning, and we have open arms to those that are willing to say, you know, I want to put that weight down and I'm ready for something else. I want to live a lighter life. And this is about lighter in body. This is about how you feel. You know, you're supposed to be feeling joy in this life. If something is not bringing you joy anymore, it's time to put it down, is what I want to share. But I realized that I've been, I guess, denying a notion of self for some time that has been brought to my attention time and time again. And I realized over the past few videos, I started to I was starting to call Crow Aleister, and I couldn't stop myself doing it. And I realized that I've been brought forward an expression of just how closely I was to Aleister Crowley when he was actually alive, you know, in his given time, and just how much I was working very, very closely to him in some spaces. And, you know, to receive messages like that, it just feels so out of the realms of, you know, understanding, that it feels too big. And I think some of you are coming to those realizations for yourself of just exactly whom you are at a soul center space. So please go easy alongside doing all of this emotional work as well, because it does take a lot. So please be sure to be looking after your mental psyche as well as your physical body, and taking rest where you can, and not pushing yourself in any given space too much. This is about a fine balance right now, and reclaiming your power. This is definitely something that I've been doing of late, is calling my energy back from all spaces that it has been fragmented, making sure that I'm cutting cords with those that I love, specifically the most at this time as well, because, you know, everyone is expanding in their own spaces, and it's up to those souls to then, you know, work on their own path in their own given space, in their own given way. So although we like to try and help, you know, those that are here that consider themselves to be light workers, light walkers, you know, however you want to manage it here, angels upon the earth at this time, it's time for you to just give to self so that you can give others the room for them to expand in their spaces too. And I think that might be really challenging for some. I found it incredibly challenging to say no, to take a step back, to say, you know, I really just need my space right now to be working on myself. And, you know, that's not to those that I have in client spaces. That's a different energy that I bring forward there. But this is about your personal relationships and personal spaces. You know, that might not be just, you know, in the personal spaces. That might be in a space of work for some of you as well, setting those strong boundaries. It's a strong message that was coming forward within this channeling from Crow as well. But I think that's all that I have to share. So this is going to be the last message for a little while from Crow. There was method to the madness. I think that there was going to be more energy stepping forward that we're going to be needing to concentrate on. So there's, you know, an example of it in itself. We're putting this little bit down. It's still here. There's still much for you to be working on. You know, you've been in your own space of understanding of this. correlating the symbols, correlating that expression to yourself and in your life. And I'm going to tag those videos in the description if you are here for the first time, you've missed those. But it's about finding that fine balance within self and what brings you joy. This idea of just what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what brings your inner child happiness is what we are going to be following from now on, each and every soul here. But that does bring up, you know, the past, that does bring up those challenging expressions so that we can settle into that space that is, you know, from the most heart-centric space to date. So it's going to be challenging, but we are ready, and it's most definitely time, everyone. But that's all for myself and crew today, and I'll be back real soon, but take care for now. Bye.